Cool. So it's all well and good me introducing this fine man here, but he might as well introduce himself, even though I'm sure everyone watching already knows.
Well, my name is Plumb. I'm Radio 1's film critic, in-house nerd and interviewer guy, as I like to say. And I'm happy to be here in Exeter to talk to you guys at the SRA Con, are we saying?
Yes.
Yeah, does that sound good?
Yes, you're Radio.co, yeah.
Yeah, that works, yeah.
So for you, Ali, kind of what, being obviously within radio industry already, what to you is the future of radio, or what's the landscape? You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily tied to radio, audio in general, but what's the future look to you?
I would say it's the same as I was saying about 5 years ago, which is radio is maybe the mothership, but it's all about the everything else. It's about being part of a club where you want to keep up to date with it.
Yeah.
So your favourite TikToker or Instagram personality, whatever they may be doing as and when they drop content on their platforms, that's brilliant. But if you have radio, you have that between a certain hour of the day, they're your friends, they're playing music for you, they're being part of your life. And I think it's less about being a radio station, it's more about being a media station, I would say. And I think a lot of people, again, I've been talking about this for years and years and years, but it's about the whole package and being part of your station's, I'm going to say the word again, club, and feeling like your day would be incomplete without radio. And for a lot of people it is, but I think it's not just what you're hearing now, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah, and I guess related to that, you've got the introduction of, obviously on-demand podcasting is, gargantuan impact over the last few years, and AI trying to creep its little fingers into radio and things. Is there a legitimate threat to traditional radio, even though it stood the test of time for so long already?
It depends on who you are as a person, as a listener. It depends on your habits. Threat is a strong word. Ultimately, it depends on what you personally enjoy.
Yeah.
If I ever had the sense that what I'm listening to feels fake or unreal, that is the antithesis to radio. To me, radio is the purity, the moment, the live, that's an actual person, actual speaking to me. So, I don't know. It's a strange world we live in. I think I personally will always have time for radio. I always need something to cook to.
Yeah.
I always need something to have a bath to, enjoy that mental image. I've got loads of time for radio in my life and podcasting.
Yeah.
There are 24 hours in a day, but I always seem to find the time for the people that really matter to me. So I don't know. I am an unusual person to talk to about this because I don't even have my own radio show. I just appear on other people's programs.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, obviously I've got my iPlayer stuff, my YouTube stuff, and TikTok, and all the kind of visual element, as well as a podcast. So I am part of the changing landscape of what a radio presenter is. I'd call myself a DJ, I'd call myself a presenter, but ultimately I'm sort of me.
Yeah.
In whatever shape that comes in.
Yeah. But
and that is saying, if you want to give me the breakfast show on a radio station, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm sort of as it comes.
Yeah, well, I guess sort of related to that then. So, if I was looking to launch my own film-related podcast or radio show, or anything that's a specific subject like that, how do you as an upcoming broadcaster differentiate yourself from what's already there? Is it all about the personality that you are, or the platform that you're on? What's someone starting out, what would you say?
You have to not pretend to be someone you aren't, to use a double negative, I think. You have to channel what it is that makes you you, which is very sort of like beige enthusiasm, you go get 'em tiger talk. But I think it's true. I want to respond to people who are saying, look, I haven't watched every movie in the world, and let's say you're 20, you won't have. Say that, know that, own that. I remember struggling when I first got started because I felt an obligation to pretend as if I were some sort of champion of cinema, and by that I mean someone who has watched all of them, all of the movies ever made. That is impossible, so just own your you-ness. If you're obsessed with Bollywood, if you're really, really into slasher films, I'm not saying find your niche, but just express yourself.
Yeah.
The people I respond to most on YouTube in particular, and there's some really good YouTube reviewers, are the ones that go, you know what, it wasn't for me, but I appreciate it's for other people, but they're speaking from their heart and from themselves. I think sometimes you can see people pretending, and we're in Britain particularly very good at hearing the fake. So yeah, it's a lame bit of advice, be you, and know what you like, and try to read. Read and read and read. You might think, oh, I need to listen to everything. A lot of my very best learnings from the world of film criticism are actually from well-written pieces that help me think differently. Don't just concentrate on your medium. You are influenced by everything. So books, magazines, online articles, blogs. Absorb and develop your taste, grow what you like, and remember it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to say 3 years later, you know, I said Moana was rubbish. I didn't. I've rewatched it and it's great. Yeah. Owning that your opinions can change in an internet that refuses to often let you admit that you're wrong. That's what I'd like to see in more people who are doing film criticism.
Yeah, and you know, people pick up on the fakeness. We always say when we're helping people launch their own stations is that you don't need a studio or this fancy kit. You just need that passion and that enthusiasm.
Totally.
And if you don't have that or you fake that, people will out you for it right away.
They can sense that you may not have every single facility to hand that some stations might have. But if you are you and you are passionate and you really care, that's what people are enthusiastic about. And I said this about magazines, like broad church magazines will come and go, increasingly go, but the very specific, I'm desperately keen on fly fishing, I'm incredibly interested in schlocky horror movies from the 80s. Those magazines keep going in a way that the broader ones I see falling away.
Yeah, and so related to the talk we're doing a talk tomorrow about why do you hate radio, bro? From people, dream jobs as students in the industry and quickly kind of learning some realizations about it. From someone in the industry, are there things that people might not necessarily know, or things that are kind of harsh truths and things, a bit of advice for people who are hoping to get in that they need to, I guess, set expectations or be a bit more prepared for?
I don't want to be sort of like scales from your eyes here, but no job is what you think it will be. And this is true of radio, it's true of everything. If someone said, okay, you can be the assistant to the highest powered Kevin Feige type producer in Hollywood, you might go, oh, right, well, I'm going to be getting in posh coffees and hanging out with Meryl Streep, and when I'm not doing that, we'll be on a yacht in Cannes. No dream job will fully ever be, what you imagine it being.
Yeah.
So know that, own that. Find a way to appreciate what is there as you're in front of it. Don't dismiss it for not being the dream thing. I know that's like Grandad saying, well, appreciate what you've got. It's wartime, but there's truth to it. I think generally radio is a lot scrappier than maybe people imagine it being. And the other thing I remember learning quite early on is so much of it is pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So that as live stuff is a real skill, and you think, oh, everything's absolutely beautifully off the cuff. And sometimes it is, but I think there's a skill in being live on the cuff brilliant, and there's a skill in being pre-record off the cuff brilliant.
And just before you go, have you ever thought about launching your very own internet radio station? Surprisingly, it's a lot easier than you may think, especially when you make the time to chat to myself or a member of the Radio.co team. To do just that, head to our website, radio.co/demo, where I can talk about your plans, any questions you may have, and me and the team can really get you up to speed in launching your own internet radio station in literally minutes. It couldn't be easier. Why not check out some of our webinars, tutorials, help guides situated around me? Or why not visit our website, radio.co, or even drop me an email, studio@radio.co. Until next time, take care and happy broadcasting.